wages I am trusting now, dear Lord, in Thee I'm trusting. I see in glory when the storms around me rages, blessed rock of ages, I now need. Keep me till the storm clouds gather, keep me till the sun comes shining through the shadows. Keep me till my work is over. Keep me till I get this world undone. I see in glory when the storms around me rages, blessed rock of ages, I now need. When my journey is completed, Savior. I see in glory when the storms around me rages, blessed rock of ages, I now need. Amen.
Or you can live by grace. You choose which one you want. I'd much rather have grace every single time.
It makes me happy.
That's exactly right. Y'all bear with me tonight. We're going through something. Friend of ours, pastor friend of ours, preacher friend of ours, got a call this morning. He had a massive stroke. They took him to Savannah. They done testing on. They 3 tests have came back that he's brain dead. It's the Covington family. So y'all just be in prayer. His wife, they've been. He's been a faithful. He served up under Uncle T as a associate pastor there in Scott for many years. And then while we were at Faith, he was the associate pastor over there at Faith. So, man of God, no doubt, where he's going. But pray for that family, if you will. We went over there, and I was able to swing by there on my way home. That's why we were kind of running late today. Just kind of sit and visited with his wife. The daughter has gone, and they got to determine sometime. He's not on, they didn't ever put him on life support, but he does have oxygen going to him. So at some time they got to determine whether to take that away or not. So just please be praying for him. Alright, so we left off. I know we kind of a little slack tonight, so I won't keep you entirely too long. But where did we leave off? What were we talking about?
Save 50 people.
Trying to, yeah. So they're going now. Jesus and these other angels are going to a city. It's not a good reason to be going.
You have to count up how many family members he thought was worthy.
Yeah. So Abraham says, "Well, Lord, it's far be it from you. It just does not sound like you that you're going to go and destroy all these people. Now they bad people, and I understand that, but Lord, you want to destroy the good people with the bad? That just doesn't sound like something you would do."
Then he had to start thinking, wait a minute, how many good we got?
Yeah.
So he started,
Yeah, he started. He said, Abraham, and this is one of the everybody. I find there's some scriptures and all that I kind of find amusing. This is one of those passages where you see Abraham. Well, Lord, what if there's 50, you still going to destroy? Then he says, wait a minute, hold on. I don't think there's 50 there. But Lord, well, you said you want to destroy it for 50. What about 45? Well, let's narrow this thing on down. What about 40? What about 30, 20, 25? He kind of comes on down, and what was the last number he settled with? Lord, there's got to be at least 10 people there. No, there's not. There's not. So he says, yeah, there's 10 I won't destroy. But we find, and while they were having this whole debate, what did the angels do? They just kept on walking, right? They didn't even stop to talk. They were on a mission. What were they going to do? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Chapter number 9. Yeah. How did I know y'all was going to ask that? Chapter number 19. We're in Genesis chapter number 19, and now we're leaving off Abraham, and we're picking up with these two angels that they kept on walking. Bible says in verse 1, and there came two angels to Sodom at evening, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. Now, poor Lot. If anything you should learn from Lot, let's follow the path of Lot, because this is kind of where we're picking up with chapter 19. It's dealing with Lot. Where did we see him? So first time we saw him was where?
his nephew.
Yeah, he's Abraham's, now we can say Abraham. He is Abraham's nephew. All right, so where do we see him to start with? Where was he to start with? He was a part of Abraham's family, right? So close that he walked with Abraham the whole way. Everywhere Abraham went, Lot was right there. He followed and walked closely with Abraham. So you know that by that, you know that he knew what God had said to Abraham. I'm sure. Yeah. Lot's like, well, look, I'm going to follow you. Now they get over to this land, and now we have, the next time we see them that we told of and all, we have that Abraham has grown so big, and Lot has grown so big.
Because the king blessed him, because if he gave him something to leave, he would leave peacefully. Because he figured out that he had done took Abram's wife, and he couldn't have her because he was strict counsel.
Yeah.
So if I pay you off, you'll go quietly. So now Abram kind of got a little extra supplies.
Yeah, he got a little bonus.
Yeah. So while in that, and this is really tying back to Sunday morning, by one being blessed,
Yep.
the other one was going to automatically be blessed also.
Right. What is our scripture reference for that? I will bless those. And who was that promised to? It was promised to Abraham, wasn't it? I will bless those that bless you. I will curse those that curse you. So, by Lot was greatly blessed while he walked with Abraham. Because he blessed Abraham, therefore the promises was that he got blessed. Now, he was blessed so much that now, the next time we see them, they both have gotten so large that their herdmen are fighting with each other over water and all. It was causing, they had so much possessions, they had so many animals that it really started causing a strife between the herdsmen, right? So they have grown, Abraham and Lot's, their cattle and everything has grown so much that it becomes and it causes a strife between Abraham's herdsmen and Lot's herdsmen, right? So what happens? Then
Abraham said, "You go find you a better place, and we'll separate out." So he looked towards Solomon and Gomorrah and said, "That looks like that's a pretty good place in there."
yeah, so he basically they go up to the top of the mountain, right? And Abraham says, "Look, I love you. I'll let you choose. You got this nice, fertile. It's got plenty of grass. It's got plenty of water. You can take this side or you can take this side. You pick whichever one you go to. I'll go to the other one. It's no problem at all. You pick. I don't want to cause no problems. You pick." It says that Lot saw how good that the land was, so he went that way. And he pitched, the problem here, he pitched his tent toward Sodom. So every day he was facing toward Sodom. The next time we see Lot, Abraham has to go on a rescue mission and save Lot because the kings had come and taken over Sodom and took them away and took Lot with them. Right? So next time we see Lot, Abraham has to go and rescue, and his mighty men, they go and rescue Lot and bring him back. So he has, if you notice this, he has gotten closer and closer and closer to Sodom. Now where is he? Which means what? He has joined them. Not only joined them, but by it noting that he is sitting at the gate means that he had some kind of title there. He wasn't just part of them, now he was in leadership and in with
I
them.
often wondered, did he become a merchant? Because he had so much beef, so much whatever it was he was growing. Did he become a merchant inside the city?
Possibly. I don't really know. I haven't searched out what the historians and all say. But my thoughts is, if you go by what the little bit that the Bible tells us, we see that I wonder if he wasn't losing. Because he started off with a great big cattle and great big land. And then it narrows down to now he's living in the city.
Some people call that moving up.
I'm from the country. That ain't moving up to me. I'm afraid a little bit of my power laws rubbing off on me. Stick me out in the middle of the field and leave me alone. Yes, sir.
If you look at the story of Lot, Abraham was the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Lot, to me now, has failed into the leadership, and Lot's never been trained to be the leader that he wants to be. So he's at the gate. How many times have we been at the crossroads of life trying to figure out what we need to do? Because the leadership means more than just following.
Yeah.
When you, oh Lord, thank you, Jesus. I can see Abraham being the leader But God had told him to get away from his family, leave his family, get away. So he had to come down to this point to fulfill the leadership of Abraham. But yet still, he's still looking at Lot, hoping Lot's going to take, this is me now. But the Bible don't say, but I see how Abraham is trying to hope for him to become that leader, but Lot don't know how.
Yeah.
All he seen was a great opportunity of all the green stuff and the water and stuff, the flames were so great. That wasn't leadership, that was eyesight.
Right.
Now when leadership comes, then it leaves eyesight and it becomes a knowledge thing. And I see Lot, he had so much love for the people in Sodom that he had to make a choice. He had to get out of there. But Lot didn't know how to get out until the Lord told him to go out and don't look back.
Well,
The leadership fell
yeah.
in the Lord's hands. That Lot wanted to be the leader. I believe this now. I believe he wanted to be that leader, but he didn't know how to take it over.
Well, he could have, but he was a leader, regardless. If he's sitting at the gate is where they made the decisions. That's where they decided things. So he sat in position, he sat in a seat of authority by sitting at the gate. Now, so he was a leader. The question is, was he trying to do righteous and be a righteous leader, or was he, and that's, as we read through this chapter, was he trying to be a righteous leader, or was he just going along with the city?
Caught between two different opinions.
Well,
So he had to figure out.
he ain't caught between two. This is what I'm asking. As we read this chapter, where is his mindset? Is he, because you can only be one or the other, is he righteous and trying to live righteous and live as an example? Because the Bible tells us we're living in the world, but we're not to be of the world. So we live among them, but that we live, while we live among them, we also live separated from them. Is Lot living in them separated, or is he a part of them?
That's between two different opinions.
So, well, I mean, that's what he's already made his opinion. He ain't sitting in between. He has done one or the other. Either he has separated himself and tried to lead them, or he has chosen to be a part of them. And I'll bring that out in the scripture. There's a scripture that we ain't got to yet that kind of tells you where he is in his path. And I know, well, you ain't supposed to judge. We hear that all the time. The Bible says we are supposed to. I challenge you on that. Because the Bible says we are to judge righteously. Now, you look at the fruit that he has, at the fruit that he's going to show, and you tell me if that's a righteous or not. That's what we're looking at. I know when we talk about judging and stuff like that, the Bible says, judge not. Well, read the rest of that verse. Quit taking just half of it. Read all of that verse, because the Bible doesn't tell you don't judge. It does not tell you that. It says, be careful when you judge. That's what it's talking about. Judge not, that you should not be judged, for with what judgment you give. In other words, I can't tell you it's wrong for you to drink, it's wrong for you to smoke, then me turn around and go out and drink and smoke. That's what it's talking about. Be careful when you judge, that you judge righteously. So when we look at his life, and we look at the things that he's going to do here in this chapter, does it represent a righteous or an unrighteous person? What has he decided? Either he has decided to become part of the city to help lead them into a righteous path, or he has joined them in their sin. Bible says, and there came 2 angels to Sodom at evening, and Lot sat in the gate. He had a position of authority of Sodom. He wasn't just a citizen. He was a part of them. And Lot, seeing them, he saw the angels approaching, rose up and met them. He bowed himself with his face toward the ground. So he recognized who they were. Uh-oh. Yeah, he was aware of it. Yeah, Bible tells us we've entertained angels unawares, but he's aware. He runs to them, and they something different about him. He said, "Behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house." He ran to them before they got to the city and said, "No, y'all don't need to be coming here. Y'all need to come into my house. And stay here all night. Tarry all night and wash your feet, and you'll rise up early, get up early before everybody else does, and leave." They said, what was their answer? He tells them, look, he runs to them before anybody else. He says, "Look here, y'all from around here, you need to come in here. You need to come in my house. You need to come in there now. Stay there all night." This tells you how bad this city is. He runs to them. Notice that. He runs to them. He tells them, "Come into my house. Stay there all night. Get up early and leave." All right. And what did they say? No. No. We will abide the angels. So angels, think about it like this. Angels are righteous beings, are they not? Do they want to have any part with unrighteous? They did not want to even come in his house. So we see an example of Lot.
And it's not their decision.
Yeah.
They have no choice in this matter. They have been sent, and they will obey.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot return without the mission being fulfilled. They just can't. They just can't. So they can't go into a place that is going to try to disencourage them. Either way, for
Yeah.
good or bad, they're there to do something. Now, by them saying they'll stay in the streets, that's their way of saying everybody is going to know God's here.
Yeah.
We're going to stand out here. We're going to show them. We ain't got nothing to hide. God don't hide.
No. He doesn't do in secret. He says, "Those things that you do in secret, I'm going to reward you openly." There is no secrets with God. And they refuse to even just go in his house. Come in. You come in our house. I give you everything. You stay there. No, I'd rather stay in the streets. And verse 3, and he, Lot, pressed upon them greatly. Look, he encouraged them. Look, you don't want to be in these streets. This city has a reputation. Remember, the reputation of Christ already went to God. Remember, that's what the Lord told, the angel of the Lord told Abram.
Let's go see what we can see.
Yeah, we going to check this out. We done heard the cry. We done heard what's going on. We finna go check it out for ourselves. See if it's really as bad as we've heard. And Lot pressed upon them greatly, and finally they turned in unto him and entered into his house. And he kind of rushed everything. He wanted to hide everything. He made them a feast and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But notice the difference. What was their response? No. What was their response to Abraham? Okay. We'll stay here.
We'll just stay right here.
We'll wait right here. We'll let you go feed us.
Yeah.
Go. Notice the responses. So,
Because they had another one with them that they watched him, and he said, see if they all see it.
yep. So, the fact that they waited and they were entertained, so to speak, they were fed, they were washed, all of this by Abraham. Now they refuse to even go into Lot's house. Doesn't speak highly of Lot at all. He made them a feast. He did feed them. He baked unleavened bread, and they did eat. But don't you hate that word? But before it got dark, before they laid down, before they went to bed, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round. So now the men of the city, they got word that they got new visitors. And now they have come and they found out where these visitors are. And they have encircled, surrounded the house.
Not knowing that they're against them or for them, or just passing through.
Yeah, it didn't matter to them. It was, that is how bad this town is. Basically, they heard that there was two new fellas, and we want to see these two fellas. It says, here's all of this is sad, but it says both old and the young. The old and the young. All the people from every quarter. It didn't matter if they all, you realize that's all the men, old and young, and it didn't matter what status they was. Rich, poor. Every section of town. All of them came. It's a very sad situation here of the debauchery, the evil, the sickness, the perversion that is taking place in this town. Every man, young and old, from every section of this town has now came and surrounded this house. It says, verse 5, they called unto Lot and said unto him, where are the men which came in to you this night? Where are they? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. I'm sure everybody in here is caught up on King James terminology. They didn't want to just have a conversation, and I'll leave it at that. It's sick. All right. So they tell them, "Hey Lot, those two fellas, we know that they in your house. Bring them out here." I ain't gonna say the rest, but they say it. All right. Lot, he's going to intercede for them, ain't he? Abraham. When we last left off last week, we saw Abraham interceding for this town. Right? Lord, if there's any righteous, save them, spare them. Now Lot is fixing to attempt to intercede, I guess you could say, for the two angels. Lot went out at the door unto them and shut the door after him. He locked the door. He kind of squeezed. Y'all know how you try to hide something? Squeeze out the door so nobody sees in the door, and he shuts the door. He said, I pray you, brethren, hey, y'all calm down. Do not so nicely, wickedly. do wickedly. Behold now, say, does this sound like, again, I ask the question, does this sound like a righteous person? Because a lot of people sometimes they will, yeah, God saved Lot because he was the only one righteous. No, this is not the acts of a righteous person. The only reason God saved Lot was because of Abraham. It had nothing to do with Lot. If it were not for Abraham, I believe Lot would have burned up with him. Why? Because his fruit. Behold now, here's the solution. Look, don't do evil to these men, but I have 2 daughters. They've not known a man. I got 2 virgin daughters. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do you to them as is good in your eyes. How sad is this? Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. Don't do anything. I've got 2 young women over here, my daughters. They go out in this crowd and do whatever's right in your eyes, whatever you want to them. Just don't do anything to these 2 guys. I'm sorry. That don't, as a father, that don't fly with me. That don't fly. Verse 9, and they said, this is the men's answer. Stand back, get out of my way. Get out of our way. They said again, this one fella came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. This is what they're saying. Look, we accepted you, and now you going to try and tell us what to do? His word literally had no authority. Even though he sat at the gate with them, they did not listen to his words at all. So what kind of reputation? He did not have a strong reputation in this city at all. This one fellow, this guy came in to sojourn. They're talking about Lot, and he needs to be a judge. Now will we deal worse with you than with them? You just thought we were going to do such and such to them. We're going to do it to you now. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near. They just about broke the door down. But the men, talking about the 2 angels, put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut to the door. So if it was not for the angels that were there, Lot probably would have been killed right here. They pull Lot in. Again, this is not because of the reputation of Lot. I fully believe this is all because of the prayers of Abraham. How many times would Satan have devoured us, or would have injured us, or would have hurt us, and the only thing that held him back was the prayers of a mama, the prayers of a grandma, the prayers of a dad or grandpa or brother, sister, husband, wife, prayers of those loved ones praying for us. If it wasn't for them pulling us back and protecting us. It says they grabbed hold of him, pulled him into the house, shut the door. And they smote the men who were at the door of the house with blindness. So the angels caused all these men right there to go blind. Notice this. This is how bad it is. Both who? That's right. Both the small and the great. So in my mind, when I see that, anywhere from this is how bad this city is, all the way from the young, the small, to the great. Does it not ring true when the Bible tells us, train up a child? If you get a hold of them when they're small and you can train them, they may stray from it, but they'll never forget it. So the Bible says you train up a child the way he should go, when he's old he won't depart from it. Right? So here you see the training that these children got. And when you think of what that may have consisted of, it was only a matter of time before God done what he done. Now my question is, and I know this is back in Genesis, I know this is back in the law, and we're up under grace now, but how long will God suffer the stuff going on in the world today? How bad has it got to be? What are we doing with our children? Well, we don't sacrifice them. Yes, we do.
He has a clear answer to that.
Yep.
He said, those who call my name, when they call out to me, any need, when we have enough as a society, and call out to him, he will put an end.
Yep.
But it's got to be a unified cry. This is what's happening here. God heard, Jesus heard the cry from people. It got so bad. They were even crying, they wasn't perfect themselves, but they were crying against the evil that was around them. God heard it. And he was confused. He said, well, I'm fixing to go see what I heard, if it is truly as bad as they say. When it becomes this bad in our world, and the united world says, God, come and come quickly, he'll come.
Let me ask you this. The Bible says God heard their cry. My question is, but were they crying to him? Or did just a cry out of the city? When you go to a large city, just say New York or something, do you constantly hear sirens going off or stuff like this? Just constantly the
For him
cries.
to this, because we're in Genesis, because for him to hear it, there had to be a spokesman on their behalf. I'm going to say a priest-like person, even though the priests back then were not.
Well, what I'm asking is, so during this time, because everything cried out to God, everything, both good and bad. What did he tell Cain? Who cried out on Adam's behalf? It was the blood. I hear his blood crying out. Right? Not him. He heard the blood. So my question is with Sodom. It just said, and correct me if I'm wrong, it didn't say somebody, it just said he heard the cry of it. Not necessarily that they were crying out to him, or somebody was crying out to him.
Or the blood of.
Could it have been the blood of innocent people crying out? Could it have been the blood of innocent animals crying out? Could it have been a cry of wickedness crying out that he heard? Not necessarily, as we would think of today, somebody that is saved crying out to him in prayer. Or even in the Old Testament, a prophet crying out against the city. I don't think it was that. I think it was so evil that the evil itself cried out as a witness against that city. And that's the cry that he heard.
And the innocent blood that was not of age.
Yeah.
To know the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah.
Their blood cried out, just like Abel's.
Well, I mean, so we have references. We have references in the, if you go forward several hundred years to the Exodus. When they go into the promised land, God tells them to go in and destroy the Amalekites and all of these other ones. Why? Because it speaks back part of the reason was idolatry. Part of that was they allowed their children to pass through fire to make it. Right? So, so that's the human sacrifices and stuff like that. That's one of the reasons God said when they went over and conquered the promised land, that is one of the reasons he said, you kill all of them. Don't leave anything behind. You take care of it all. So here, I believe it's the innocent blood that has cried out. It is not because the Bible tells us there wasn't even 10 righteous people here. I believe if there was even one righteous, God would have left it. Possibly. Because we can't, based on the evidence and the suggestions here, we can't even say Lot was righteous. I don't think you can.
He knew of righteousness.
He knew of it. He did not practice it. There's a big difference. It's the same thing today. There's a lot of people who call themselves Christians, but they don't practice none of it.
But it's kind of Abraham. His good was counted for righteousness. So he just accepted angels in to protect them, to keep them out of harm's way, but to keep the people from being destroyed. So there's a lot of in there.
Well,
So
we don't know right now where we're at. We don't know that he knows what they've come to do.
He knows they're angels. He knows what he's facing.
He knows they're different. He knows they're there for a purpose, but he hasn't been told what the purpose is yet.
But even as a stranger, he pulled him off the street for protection and fed him.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah,
That's
he wasn't.
goodness in his heart.
He did, but
Showing up.
is it enough? And I think we have to scripture on this. It is not enough to know good, but you got to do good.
After the cross.
Yes. And even before the cross. Before the cross, it was Abraham. What was it that was counted for righteousness?
His good was counted.
His
for
faith.
Yes.
His faith, the Bible tells us, faith without works is what? Dead, useless. Right? So Abraham, by him having the faith and willing to offer Isaac, right? That was exercised faith. He was putting that faith to work. So it wasn't just to know of him. You had to be a follower of him. We have to reference. You hear me say it when we pray, Lord, don't let me be a hearer only, but let me be a doer. Because hearing benefits. Hearing is good. I'm glad people say they go to church. I'm glad to hear that they're under the preaching of the word. But if you're not doing anything, it is not profiting you. There's a lot of good, well-meaning people that go to hell because they were hearers only and not doers. So he knew the right thing to do, but he didn't necessarily put it in practice like he should have. Does that make sense?
Sounds like he was outnumbered.
Yeah, he was way
He
outnumbered.
should have just moved.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been. If he was really where he needed to be with God, he shouldn't have been there. To me, it's. I would put it on the same situation as what business does a born again Christian have going into a bar? I can't think of any, unless you there. Somebody has called you that they need to ride, and you there to give them a ride because they got in trouble or something. Other than that, you ain't got no business being there. So,
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
the New Testament kind of uses it. It said, for what saith the scripture, Abraham believed God, and it was counted unto him for righteousness.
Hebrews.
He believed in God.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we see it's because he exhibited faith, and he exhibited a working faith. He put it in. He didn't just speak it. He put it into action. It wasn't because, and going back to, I know we haven't got there yet, but going back to the episode with Isaac, it wasn't just Isaac that Abraham said, "Yes, Lord, I will. I'd be willing to do it." It wasn't just because he said it. It was because he actually bound him up, put him on this altar, picked the knife up, picked up the knife. And then, what is that? That is faith with works. Couldn't do it. I know. But that's what I'm getting at on that is that's the faith that was counted to him. He was counted as righteous because he put faith in action. Faith that is not in action is not faith. That goes to the Bible verse, faith without works. You don't work to get saved. That ain't what that's talking about. But our faith, if we do not put it to work, it's of no effect. It ain't no good. I can say I believe in healing all day long, but if I don't pray for healing, do I really believe it? Why? You're not putting your faith to work. It's dead faith. And I'm afraid a lot of our people that sit in the pew are trying to make it to heaven on dead faith. That might be a sermon. So, but he says the angels, the men, they smote the men who were at the house, at the door of the house with blindness, both the small and the great, so that they wearied themselves to find it. That he blinded them so much they couldn't even find the doorknob.
They closed the door.
Yeah, they closed the door.
These people don't even know what's happening.
No.
They didn't have to touch them. They didn't have to see them. They didn't have to. All they did was spoke the word.
Yep.
Even though they were surrounded by something that was between the two, it still put on for the angels went on the bed.
Yeah, well, it says that they smote them. They caused the blindness to come upon them. Now, whether they, we don't know what they did. Just says they smote them with blindness. They caused the blindness.
Don't say they opened the door flat.
Yeah. Well, they had to
They
shut the
can't
door
find
back.
the door.
Okay.
They can't find the door.
Well, the angels had to shut the door back.
They did.
They didn't say the angel
They-
opened the door to him.
Well, they had to open the door.
Said they pulled Lot into
They
the house.
did have to
and
open the
shut
door.
the door.
Well, yeah, but so when Lot went out, Lot shut the door and locked it. So the angels reached out, grabbed him, so they had to open the door. Why? Because it said they shut the door. But they had to open it in order so that they could shut it.
That's what I'm saying, though, when they spoke the blindness, they didn't open the door and slapped it out of them.
Mhm, that's right.
They might have.
They just went through the
They
wall.
said they opened the door.
It radiated.
But they had to shut it. So if they had to shut it, that means they had to open it. Because it was already shut. When Lot went out, that's what I'm saying. When Lot went out, he eased out and shut and locked the door behind him.
Right.
Now,
Now they opened it and shut it back.
so the angels opened it, grabbed him,
Okay,
so they could have it.
Yeah.
well, I guess it's good while to open it.
Because then it says
I
they
think
shut the door.
I think the house began to radiate.
They
I
something.
Yeah, I think the
happened.
spirit started to surround like a hedge, and once that hedge started to be built, kind of like a Superman shield, whenever he got his cape and threw it, when that house became that hedge, that radiated off that to where they could see.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It happened before.
yeah.
Just like ours.
That's right. It became so. It could have became so bright. We just all it says is they smote the men with blindness and they shut the door. After they were smoked with blindness, the men, both small and great, they were so weary. They tried so hard, and they couldn't even find the door. Okay. And the men, the angels, said unto Lot, "Have you here any besides? Is there anybody else here? Son-in-law, and your sons, and your daughters, and whatsoever you have in the city, bring them out of this place. Get them out of here." Now Lot is told the plan. So he didn't know it before. Now he knows. He just knew there was something different about it. Now he knows why they're sent there. Verse 13, for we might, there's a chance we will not. We will destroy this place because the cry, here he goes, the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord. And the Lord has sent us to destroy it. The cry has came up before the Lord. It's waxing great. It's a great cry. Lot went out, verse 14, Lot went out and spoke unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. This goes to, so this is his son-in-laws, right?
But there's one thing right there that America is doing today. Get thee out, and I will destroy it. People don't believe the world's going to be destroyed. I hear this all my life, right? What happened when the angels come to bring the wind from the four corners of the earth, that it blow not on the land of the earth? People today, they're looking at it just like, and I see it so plain, just like these people. This did to me. How should I get out?
Yeah.
Lord, help me something. And I'm not judging, I'm just saying this out of my heart. How many people today won't go to the house of the Lord because they don't believe the world's going to be destroyed?
Yeah.
But Jesus said, when he was here, it will be as that day. It'll be as the day of Noah. They were eating, they were drinking, they were married, they were given in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And they do not till the rain came to put them away. Now Jesus made this statement before he left. He said it'll be as it was in the days of Noah. Brother, I don't know what in the world could have been going on in Noah's day that ain't going on in America today.
Yeah.
But we see a turn. We see a turn. And I believe this. He said, if any man hear me and open the door, I'll come in. I bet there are a few people that's beginning to realize what Jesus and the Lord is beginning to turn America now. I don't know how far he'll turn before he comes.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this here and I'll try to put it out. People today, they'll say, well, I'm living good as them people is in the church. Them people in Solomon might have said, I'm living as good as them people outside that day.
Well, they might have been compared
But
to
who got
Lot.
strong?
Yeah. And that's
God
where,
seen their wickedness. He didn't see what was on the outside of Solomon. He seen what was in the city, and I will destroy it
that's it.
because of their weakness.
And that's where we go back to Lot. Was Lot the representative that he should have been? No. We've already seen evidence of that. Matter of fact, in this verse, verse 14, it tells you what kind of reputation. Now, he goes and speaks to his son-in-laws. Alright? And Lot went out and spoke unto his sons-in-laws, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy the city. So he goes to them and says, Look, we got to leave.
He blamed the Lord.
I've been told, these angels came to me, they told me, we got to go. They feasting to destroy this place. Now, what kind of reputation did Lot have? These are his sons-in-laws, the ones that were fixing to marry. They wasn't married yet. Why? Because remember the verse we read a while ago, his two daughters were still virgins. So they wasn't married yet. He had 4 daughters? He could have, but it just mentions the 2. So a lot of times when it says they were married, they could have been in the arranged marriages, and it hasn't taken place yet, but it was looked at as being married. It called, wasn't Mary called Joseph's espoused wife, or something like that, wasn't it? Huh? It was engaged, but the way it was worded is like, take your wife or your espoused wife or something like that. It was looked at as it was binding, they're going to be married. So this is your wife. Even though it was still a few weeks out or a few months out, it was still looked at as will be your husband, this is your wife. So here, this could have been, and I mean, there may have been other daughters, but if he goes by the 2 daughters that it mentions, here this would imply that they were going to marry. They weren't married yet. But regardless of that, what is his reputation? Does Lot's word carry any weight with the people that were going to marry or either were married to his daughters? No. So that tells me that he wasn't living a separated life, because his word didn't carry any weight. It says, but he seemed as one who mocked unto his son. They were just joking, cutting up, or just talking crazy. They did not take what he was saying with any seriousness at all. So, what is it that I don't have any sons-in-laws, I don't have any daughter-in-laws yet, but those of you that do, does your word carry any weight? Do they listen to what you have to say? They may not always do what you say, but they may come to you and ask for advice because your word carries weight because of the life that you live.
We hear, well, I know what you're talking about. They do.
Yeah.
They do know what you're talking about. But you're sincere,
Yeah.
and they have to make a decision for themselves. Is that any other than me?
No. What I'm getting at is, or what I'm with my question is, does your life carry the example? In other words, you can suggest and they will listen to you. They ain't calling you foolish, they ain't calling you this, they listen to, the Bible tells us over in the New Testament that our older women are wise. And I read the verse Sunday where we listen, those that receive or listen to the counsel are wise. So the Bible tells us the old men are to teach the young men. But if you're not living an example that I need to be listening to, I'm not going to listen to you.
Still listen up.
Some of them don't.
They act like they do, don't they?
They just don't care.
Yeah. And that's where,
But is that your fault? I mean,
no, that's not your fault.
So was it Lot's fault?
It wasn't, but at the same time, if you're living a, if you're
I
living
didn't
a,
listen to him. This is his
yeah,
son-in-law, and they were born and bred a certain way.
Yeah.
And,
They were
and
trained.
his daughters were married. Remember, he didn't go to his daughters. Now, his daughters would have listened. I really believe his daughters would have heard him for what he was, not what he is. With the sternness and the seriousness of his voice, these fellas, they wasn't gonna do it.
no,
Period. What, no matter what he said, it wasn't gonna fly with them.
no.
That was their house, their rules, their land, their rules. And now they own his property, which was his daughter's.
Yeah.
So who's wasting his breath?
But what did the man, when Lazarus was carried in Abraham's bosom, what did Abraham tell the rich man? You got the prophets.
Yeah.
Moses was right. They got the prophets in. And if they won't hear them, they won't hear one raised from the dead.
Right.
Now, I'm going to go back to Lot. This is me now. I believe Lot spared on Abraham's faith.
Yeah, that's
I really believe that.
Yeah, that's what
I
we said.
really believe it. Thank God, I feel that. I really believe it when Abraham reached out to God. That it blesses you, I will bless him. That it curses you, I will curse him. I believe with all my heart. I wouldn't say it. Something in Lot's mind triggered from Abraham's faith. Somewhere in that mind, he began to realize, I better get out of here. Because the man is said on the destroy. See,
Yeah.
Abraham, and I'm not being located. I mean, he earned what he got. Abraham walked with God. And I'm not saying Lot did. I'm not judging. But I'm wondering in my mind, in my spirit, was Lot trying to walk on Lot's faith or the faith like Abraham did?
And there's a point, Lot's gonna pull back to his roots.
Yeah, but right now,
And I'm not saying-
that's what I'm trying to say.
He's pulling back to his roots.
Right, where we're at right now, he's not.
See, I believe that.
Yeah.
I do believe that. I believe that when he says
He was spared on Abraham's
when
faith.
he goes before you, he says, I'll go before you. I will go before you. That's exactly what he did for Lot. There's something about this that Lot knows Abraham's about to watch. He can't see
Yeah,
it.
he feels that.
He feels it.
To a degree,
He
yes.
feels it.
And yeah, like I said from the get-go, I fully believe that the only reason Lot was spared was because of the prayers of
Let me tell you
Abraham.
how I feel so strong about that. We've lived it.
Yeah,
We've lived it. Jeff was in a theater of war. And a lot of guys was around him, and we're not going to say they could claim anything. We're just going to leave it for what they were. But there was something about them that knew that a certain time of the day, or Sunday morning, Wednesday night, they knew there was a little more safety in their world. Not them, their world.
Yeah.
Because of certain times that they believed others would be calling out for their help.
oh yeah.
That's how I
100%.
feel so strong
Yeah.
about Lot and Abraham.
Yeah, I believe when God left, the last time we saw Abraham, remember he left and went back home. I believe when he went back home, we already established he didn't go back in the house with Sarah.
Yeah.
I believe he either found him a place up under that tree or somewhere else that he began praying because he knew what was coming. He knew what was fixing to take place.
It's his place.
Yeah.
It said return to his place.
That's right. He returned back to his place, but he knew.
A big barn.
That's right. He knew exactly what was fixing to happen in Sodom, and he knew who was there. So we still see Abraham still
Standing in
making
the gap.
intercession
Yes, that's it.
for them.
Standing in the gap for him.
And if it wasn't for that, that's what we started with. If it wasn't for that, Lot would have been destroyed with them.
But I'm not taking up for Lot, because Lot, he chose to play his sin.
Yeah.
But now what if God was to tell you tonight, say, I'm just destroying this country? You got children. Wouldn't your mind kind of lean toward, I'm going to get my children out of there?
Well, that's what he
So
does.
that's what I say,
Yeah.
Lot. Lot's trying his best to
Lot-
get his family out,
Lot, yeah,
but he had to leave them.
but at the same time, well, no, he didn't have to leave them.
But he had to get out of Sodom.
Regardless if they chose to go or not, he had to leave because he knew destruction was coming. However, when he goes and tells them, look, this is fixing to be destroyed, we got to get out, I'm leaving, you need to come with me, and they mocked him. They made fun of him, they mocked him.
But he tried. Lot
He-
tried.
Well, the angels told him to do it. So it wasn't, and I'll go so far to this. The angel point blank said, do you have any son-in-laws? Do you have any daughters? Who else is here with you? You need to get them. So Lot wasn't really necessarily doing this out of his own heart. He was told to go do it. You need to go get these and get out, if they so choose. We're told the same thing. Paul said, or Jesus said to the disciples, you go out to that city, you preach to them, you get as many as you can to believe. If they refuse, if they don't want to hear you, don't worry about it. You shake your feet off, shake the dust off as a witness, and you leave. Lot, same thing. You go tell them, take them with you, but you got to get out. Regardless, if they come, they come. If they don't, you want them. But that's where I wonder, and I go back to just trying to look at the life he was living up to this point. Being in Sodom. Was the life that he was living at this point say what kind of life he was living?
Was he conformed?
Right. Was he separated or was he conformed? Was he a part of them or was he separated from them? If he was really separated from them the way we should be, when he went to the son-in-laws, they probably would have still mocked and all, but his testimony would have carried a little bit more weight. Just because people don't listen to us, and I go back to that, I'll tell you, just because people don't listen to us, that doesn't mean they ain't considering what we said. That doesn't mean that our words did not have weight and they don't carry it with weight. I promise you, when you live out the example that you should in front of people, when you say something, they may not turn right then, they may not think on those words right then, but when you leave, they're going to start thinking about them. Why? Because your testimony carries weight. I'll always go to, if you see me out in town and I'm cussing and I'm mad and stuff like that, and then I come and tell you, man, God loves you, my testimony ain't going to have no weight. But if every time I see you, I'm telling you I love you, I appreciate you, you never see me doing anything wrong, you never see me doing this, doing that, when I come up to you and I shake your hand or wrap my arms around you and I tell you I love you, I'm praying for you. You may not at that moment accept that as having weight, but you're going to know when you get off to yourself, those words are going to come back to you. That person, I think about Brother James. That man never, nobody can ever say that he did not love them. Just because of the testimony he had, the weight, and that's what I'm getting at. So when Lot goes to these sons-in-laws and says, "Hey, this city is fixing to destroy," and I got first-hand knowledge. They told me this city's fixing to get destroyed. We need to leave, and we need to leave now. Instead of, okay, let's get some more information, or okay, let's examine this. They just thought he was crazy. You're crazy. They ain't about to happen. Okay? That's what I was getting at with our words need to have authority behind them, and we back that up by living and living that example. If we're not living the example, then our words ain't going to mean nothing. We've got to first live it. Verse 15, and when the morning, when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot. We got to go. Hurry it up. Saying, "Arise, take your wife, there's the answer, 2 daughters. Take your 2 daughters, which are here, lest you be consumed in the iniquity of the city." We got to go, and we got to go now. You grab everybody that's in this household, we going now. And while Lot lingered, even then, he didn't want to leave. He was still lingering. He was still getting his stuff in order. Wasn't taking it very serious, was it? Look at this. Even now, Lot has been told, we're going to destroy the city. Now he's saying, this is the next morning. All right, the hour's come. It's time now. We got to leave right now. And what does Lot do? He is lingering. He is holding on to Sodom as long as he can. That's what I see right there. He is lingering. I'm going to pick. I saw a video the other day. Basically this couple took a time lapse of them getting ready, and so yeah, it was so funny. So they were like in a hotel room, and they had the camera set up, and it's all sped up. So you see the guy, he's just laying there, just sitting there watching TV and all. You see the woman coming in and out, getting dressed, and he's still laying there. And all this is sped up. Get dressed. And finally, at the end of it, for the last little bit, the clips however long, this last little few seconds, you see him pop up, throw his clothes on, be out the door. I laugh at it because that is so true. I'm sorry. It is so true. The routine that we go through on Sunday mornings, I've done told her to quit asking how it looks.
So you're saying both of them?
No, I'm not saying.
Okay, I see what you're saying. She's going back to the family.
I know. It don't matter what I'll just go grab. It don't matter what do you want to wear? Jeans and the shirt. This shirt, all right? It's fine. It's a shirt. It's
You told me
shirt.
no
I said
before.
jeans and a shirt. That qualifies as a shirt. Yes. Get up, put it on. I'm out the door. No. She'll come in there. She'll put the first thing on. How's this look? I said I ain't answering. What do you mean? Because you ain't going to wear it. Why are you even asking me? you know, I ain't gonna answer you till at least the third outfit. Then we might consider answering, because that might actually be closer to what we're actually going to be wearing that day. And-
Because you run out.
Kind, so it's
Yeah.
his fault, ain't it, because he didn't answer you the first time.
No, how's it look? It looks good. All right. 5 minutes later, she come walking in with another outfit on. What happened? I just wasn't doing it.
Yep.
Then why did you put it on to start with? I know if I'm feeling it, if I see a shirt, and she holds up a shirt, you want to wear this shirt? I know immediately, yes I do, or no I do not. I don't have to put it on and wear it around the house for 5 minutes and say, I'm not feeling this. No. So here the angels have said, come on, it's time to go. And Lot's still trying on his clothes. What do I want to pack this one? Do I want to pack that one? He's taking his, here in this story, it's reversed. Lot is sitting here taking his time when the angel said, look, we've run out.
The daughters and the wife, and they're coming on, let's go there.
But it didn't say they were lingering. It said he was lingering.
He's man of the house.
Yeah, they might have been causing him to linger, but here it's him that was lingering. It says in the men, the angels, they done had enough. We got to go. I'm not hanging around here. I know what's fixing to be poured out. I ain't hanging around here. I got to take you. Let's go. He grabs, laid hold upon his hand. The men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being what? There's 2 things that I am truly grateful for. I am grateful for God's grace, and I am grateful for God's mercy. If I have nothing else, I gotta have it too. Well, you gotta have the blood. All of that is the blood of Christ is grace and mercy. What are the meanings of grace and mercy? Grace has given me the things that I do not deserve. And mercy is not giving me the things that I do deserve. Mercy, I deserve, because I am a sinful man, I deserve to die, go to hell. Mercy says, I'm not giving you that. Then grace turns around and says, you know what? Give him a pathway to heaven. I don't deserve it. You don't either. Neither one of us. None of us. But God gives us grace and mercy. He says, and because the Lord, being merciful unto him, not what did I just say? Why? The Lord is merciful. What was mercy? Not giving him what he deserved. So, because the Lord was merciful unto him, they brought him forth and set him without the city. They said, we going, and he grabs hold of their hand, and they take him out of the city. So they kind of teleport him out, and he's out of the city. So we see that he had a house where he had started way out, and he just pitched his tent toward. Now he's kind of moved on up the scale. Now he's got a big city house inside the gates. Now, I think we're going to leave off there for time's sake. So we'll leave off there. Now the angels have grabbed hold of Lot. They've grabbed hold of Lot's wife and the 2 daughters. So we got to go. It's time for us to get out of here. And the 2 angels, take their hands and they leave.